Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to RSF1's Tier 4 division. We're here live at the Mexican Grand Prix. We're in the lobby at the moment. It'll be due to start soon. My name is RSF1 Brundle, and I'm joined by my co-commentator, same as last week, Bamba Viking. Good evening to you, Bamba.
Hello, Brundle. Happy birthday, as tonight is your birthday, so let's hope it's a good race.
Thank you very much. On that, I have to say thank you to all the community that wished me happy birthday. And that's obviously the best thing about this league, is that we have a very good community that is growing and growing by the second. Very thankful for all the messages that people sent to me, and no doubt any that I get in the stream once I got it up. But that's that. But let's focus on tonight's race. And well, we are the only tier, apart from F3. F3 still needs to be decided tomorrow, but Hamilton, I believe, only needs 8th in Mexico tomorrow, so he realistically has it, barring any miracles or anything like that. This is the only tier left that has we've got 5 people still left with a chance of winning the drivers. Well, technically 6, but realistically 5 in a chance of winning the drivers. So we are very privileged, Bamba. This, hopefully, fingers crossed, this goes to the last race.
Yeah, definitely. The best championships are always decided right, up against the wire on the final race. So, it might take someone really good to stop Tej here, but let's hope it's a close race anyway.
Mm-hmm. On that as well, one big absentee tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is Primus Gaming. Now, he's 3rd in the championship despite himself not having a great race last week in Japan. He's not here tonight, so it's a massive opportunity for those around him, Tej, McCracken and Raikkonen, and even his teammate Alco. In fact, Alco's not here either. Both Red Bulls not here tonight. So, big opportunity for Alpha and the championship contenders to get one over on the 2 Red Bull drivers. A bit of a shame, but obviously there's reasons for that. We cannot obviously get in the way of life, so we'll see. But I'm sure they'll be back next week to challenge again.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder there if it's actually me that's caused the per point haul for Red Bull. I've been only commentating, this is my 2nd race, and both races Red Bull have failed to score a single point, so I don't know what's going on there.
I'm sure it's not you. 15 here tonight, so Q1 is a little bit of a practice session. Timonica's doing a little bit more practice, as is Blazer, so time's not really anything to go by. So let's talk about last week's race, Bamba. So last week's race, your commentating debut. Yep. In the combox for RSF1, and how do you sum up that race? Because it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was probably one of the weirdest races I've seen, especially on this game, because the conditions were neither dry nor wet, and it was very difficult for us, the viewers, to judge, but also the drivers, which contributed to a great race and a great result actually, where a lot of positions were changed.
Yep, and in terms of the championship, it opened it up for McCracken and Raikkonen because they had good results. Not massively damaging for Tej and Primus, who both had races to forget, but a 3rd for Raikkonen and a 4th for McCracken. They need to use that momentum tonight, don't they, from tonight onwards?
Yeah, definitely. It's almost a win gap to Tejasaurus in 1st here, and basically the races that you don't finish ahead of him, it just ekes his total out and out and out, and just it becomes uncatchable as the races dwindle down to basically the final one.
Yeah, so I wrote a few notes earlier about last week's race, and first note was obviously Tej and Primus both need to recover. Obviously Primus not racing. There's a huge race for Tejasaurus tonight, Bamba. He spun on the opening lap through the S section, 4 corners in. he cannot have that again tonight. Cannot have another difficult race. But he has had a few this season, so it's not unheard of. But yeah, he needs to get back to maybe not winning ways, but at least podium ways. Get back on the podium and see. But very difficult field, so won't be easy.
Yeah, well, consistency is a huge part in Formula One, but you don't have to be consistent every week. Like, look at the 2010 season with Sebastian Vettel. He had a very up and down season, but managed to clinch the title. So it might come down to the last few races. And well, if Tidge claims the title, then those last few races are the ones that actually matter, and not the ones that he didn't have a great race in, like Japan.
Yeah, I remember actually the French Grand Prix earlier this season where he crashed out in the first lap, well, second corner actually, and scored no points there. So yeah, has had a few of those first lap incidents that have hampered him, but yeah, big race for him tonight. See what he can do. Rebster has just beaten Quaker Oats for a time now. I know I'm not really focusing on times, but decent from Rebster there in the Force India Racing Point. Counting myself there. Yeah, so last week's race Japan, Quaker Oats got his second win in his short career in RSF1 in the Haas. No, it wasn't. He was driving McLaren actually last week. He's in the Haas tonight, so changed his colours. He won his second race ahead of Junior, who finished in second. He was also a pole man last week, so Verstappen in the chat saying happy birthday, Brundle. Very old now, aren't you? You'll get your pension soon. I'm only 28. Jesus.
That's ancient.
Thank you, Easton, as well for the message. Yeah, sorry. Junior was second in the Haas. Raikkonen was third in the McLaren, and as I said earlier, big race for him. Very well done. Fourth for McCracken, fifth for Dude Eagle in the Renault, sixth for Tom Meeker in the Williams, just beating his teammate RSF1 Flaming. RSF1 Alonso in the Ferrari was 8th. Alco picked up some very much needed points for Red Bull in 9th, and Timmer picked up the last point. Do you have the championship table up there, Bamba?
Yeah, I do.
Alright, so what does that do for the championship? Because as we mentioned at the start, it's still close, still anyone's game in the top 6.
Yeah, definitely. There's still quite a big gap from Tigesaurus first down to McCracken second, but from second down to, I'd say, 5th, there's only a 23-point gap, so, a good race here, especially with Primus missing out, and Alco. I wouldn't be surprised if the positions changed. So it's still all to play for.
Yep, so Tidge leads on 187, with McCracken second on 165, Alpha 1-2 in the drivers, so constructors obviously they're leading, but I'll get to that. Primus on 164, Raikkonen 149, Alco 142, and then this guy I'm on board with right now, Timmer, who's just about to finish his lap, he's on 119. Then after Timmer, we've got Junior on 65, and those mathematically are the only ones that can still win the title. Yes, Junior can actually win it despite his short time in Tier 4, but he has to win every single race and hope everyone above him doesn't score. So very slim, but it's still a chance there for Junior. So 6 people mathematically with a chance. And then you got Alonso on 57, Blaze at 52, Quake at 52, Bennett 46, Tim Monique and Rebston 33, Dudigo on 27, Tom Eco 23, Orphan 21, Ted First 18, Steve 15 and Scotsman 12. Constructors, it's a 3-team mathematical battle, but realistically it's between the Alphas and the Red Bulls. And after Japan, the Alphas have a 46-point lead over Red Bull. So again, obviously with both Red Bulls missing tonight, big opportunity for both Alphas to score well. So they'll be on that. McLaren is third on 197, and actually there's a battle for top, Bamba, between Alpha and Red Bull, but there's also a battle for third. McLaren, Racing Point, Renault and Ferrari, 54 points between them, so very close for third. It'll be an interesting battle between all four, because all four at least have one driver that can score points well at any given time.
Yeah, definitely. Seems like they're very close in the stands at the moment on points. But one thing to look out for is Quaker. He's quite fast, and if a driver is missing one of those teams, he could fill up a spot and basically help that team get up there in the points, like he did last week with McLaren.
Yeah, because he's still technically a free agent. He's a Haas driver today, but was a McLaren driver last week. So yeah, as you say, he can differ between each team each week. So, and he is quick. So, will be one to watch. Then you got Haas and Williams, 2 points separating them, and then Mercedes and Toro Rosso fighting for basically not to finish last between those two, because they're a bit of a gap behind. But yeah, that's the table. Yeah, for me in the teams, Bamba, I think obviously realistically it was between Alpha and Red Bull. All throughout the season, both drivers have been scoring podiums and consistent points. Still can't call it between the two. I know both Red Bulls aren't here tonight, but still can't call it, because Alpha can have a good race tonight, then have a bad race next week in USA, and then it's all back around again.
Yeah, it switches quite quickly, because it's hard enough getting one car to the finish. It's even harder getting two cars to the finish and scoring consistent points. So the positions in the Constructors' Championship change a lot more frequently than they do in the drivers.
Easton saying Tomo for the podium. That's RSF1 Alonso in a Ferrari. The lone Ferrari so far tonight. I believe Flaming is meant to be joining for the race, but we'll see how he gets on, or see whether he joins. But yeah, Alonso for the podium. Decent qualifier, Alonso is. He had a front row in Russia, but unfortunately got caught up with this guy, actually, Scotsman, in the Racing Point on the first lap. So picked up solid points there, but could have been so much better. So McCracken, full wet race. Are you serious, McCracken? McCracken in the chat saying can't wait for a full wet race. Does that mean it's full wet? It's raining. It's heavy rain. Are you serious? Okay. Very serious. Right, so that changes things.
So 2 wet races in a row now.
Wait, was it a wet race last night?
No, I'm in F4, Japan and
Mexico. I was going to say, yes. I saw F1 last night. He had a decent race, Bamber, actually.
Yeah, I did well enough in qualifying,
apart from the damage.
Yeah, the race was 27 laps on the mediums, was ridiculously long for them, so kind of just dropped back and back.
Easton, that's a bold call.
What do you say?
Oh boy. Well, Unity first. By the way, obviously everyone has said congratulations, but I'll say it again. Unity, our F1 champion, is officially the fastest guy that we have in our league. So yep. Unity Hush. Saying F4 always gets rain. It's a joke. Why can't F1 get rain?
Well, we actually got a lot of rain in the start of the season. We got like 3 races in a row where we had qualifying was wet. I know we had Canada, we had France, we had something else, but there has been a fair share of rain going around.
So now Roberts is saying full dry race. Can someone please tell me the actual conditions, because I don't know who to believe. Wait, so I'm confused. McCracken's saying it's wet and dry. Steve says wet.
Yeah, maybe it's
McCracken's just full
raining
wet.
for a part of the race, and then I don't know, maybe dry
Yeah.
start.
So we are waiting on Scotsman and Tidge to potentially retire, and then we can move on to Q2. Okay, so if it is wet, I'll just wait until it is wet, or not. We'll just wait till the race starts. Okay, if it is wet, that would make this a very interesting race, Bamber, because a wet race, let alone a full wet race around Mexico is, well, it's ridiculous. I haven't had many, but I know, I mean, straight away, the middle sector, which is difficult enough as it is in the dry, that's going to become diabolical in the rain.
Yeah, the track is dominated by a lot of low traction zones, like heavy braking, and then like turn 1, 2, and 3, and a lot of the middle sector. So that'll be very difficult for some drivers in the rain.
So what would you do? Because obviously the natural thing, knowing you got the middle sector in the wet conditions, you want to put loads downforce on, surely. But then you've got the whole front straight, which is very, very long. So what would you do? Or would you go in between?
I'd actually just focus on the camber, the tires, and the toe, because the more in the rain, the more like tire surface you can have on the track, the better grip you'll have. So a lot of drivers run far right camber and then far left toe. So I just move it closer to the middle or even opposite ends to give me more grip, which would reduce wheel spin and loss of traction through high speed corners. But again, as you said, the straight line with if you change the downforce level and the aero, it will affect you hugely around here, because the first sector is all straight. So it's up to them to decide, and we'll see after the race which one is best.
We'll see as well. Yeah, obviously throw strategy out the window.
Yeah.
So Q2, I'm pretty much expecting everyone to be on the soft tires.
Yeah. Most likely.
So that throws that out. So obviously takes away the advantage of starting on a fresh set of dry tires if you don't qualify in the top 10. So let's put that out of the equation. Someone in the chat mentioned actually the wet races that we have had in F4 as we're now finally going into Q2. Yeah, the wet races we have had, Raikkonen has been very, very quick in them. I think the last full wet race I remember is actually China. He won that quite convincingly. So yeah, he'll be one to watch if he qualifies well. But he's got to qualify well, because one thing you don't want, especially with that huge run down to turn 1, is to be in the midfield, because the spray is ridiculous. So turn 1 is going to be fun to go down to. But there we go, into Q2. And one notable thing I'm looking from those times, if we're taking them seriously, is Rebs doing P2. Looks pretty quick, unless people were holding back.
Yeah, well, it looks a lot better than last week anyway. He was really struggling with grip, and I don't even think he set a lap, to be honest, in qualifying. So it's a big improvement from him this week. And if the pace is true, as you said, it could well be. That'll spice it up.
Right, who's going to be one of the first out? This is where hard tyres for Blazer. Probably not going out on those. Surely not. Hard tyres for Blazer. Rebs is going to be one of the first drivers out. Away he goes.
Yeah, on the hards.
Yeah, struggled in Japan, but he'd already said before going into the race he didn't like Japan one bit, so he was hoping for points. Didn't get any in the end, but he needs to turn around in fortune.
Yep, hopefully anyway he gets a good race to counter that bad one in Japan.
Yeah, Blazer guns on the hard tyres, that baffles me. Because he again is another person that is definitely a full wet race. There's enough people that said it is. I don't know why Robert says it was a dry race. Maybe he's trying to throw one. But again, hard tyres?
Maybe he's just
Hmm.
going out to set as many laps as possible to get into the groove. I know that's probably what a lot of the drivers are doing at Q1 there, instead of just retiring when they were safe. Probably just tried to get into the groove, you know. And then again, he probably has enough set of softs to go out, you know. So it's kind of baffling.
Could be. Right, Revster is about to begin his lap in the racing point. And we'll do hot lap in a Q2, but he's going to take the long run down into turn 1. ERS management around here, Bamber. Obviously, you had your race yesterday. Oh, two drivers in the way of Revster there. You had your race yesterday in F1. How's ERS management? I remember on Sunday it was actually quite difficult to save ERS because you've got that long straight that uses a lot of it. So I think like most, once you're below a certain point, it's very difficult to get it back unless you run it in none for like 2 laps.
Yeah, that's actually true. Yeah, the long straight drains it, and then the long straight is followed by another pretty long straight of itself. It reminds me a lot of Italy. Like, it just drains your battery constantly. But if you're in a train, it's very beneficial to just stick it in none, keep it up to high, which luckily I was in for the first part of the race. But as soon as you fall back and you have to use that, it's really difficult to get it back. It's kind of position oriented, or it changes for each position. Based on, like, if you're a leader and there's 3 cars behind you within a second, they're obviously going to have more battery, because if they're going to go for the long run, they're probably going to stick behind you and wait until maybe towards the end of the race or the pit stops to get you, instead of just getting ahead of you, punching a hole in the air for the cars behind, and then also basically ruining your race with no strategy or no battery.
Yep. 17.1 for Revster. He can't go quicker than that. We saw that in Q1. 15.7 from Quakerite. I think that just about beat Blazergun's time. 15.2 for Raikkonen. So Quaker is definitely on the pace tonight. So looks good so far for him.
Very nice helmet on Steve's car there. It's really nice. Yeah, it's a horrible angle.
With us like a black stripe. Oh no, not black stripe, red stripe on the side. That's good. Dude Eagle goes second. There's a lot of people on 16.2, so 16.2 seems to be around about the average time for these guys.
Yeah.
I'm thinking cut-off point would probably be a mid-16 to get into the top 10.
Yeah, sounds about right. Oh, Blazergun's lost it.
Blazerguns, that's back on the racing line. Oh, he comes
out
of it. Yeah, he's got front wing damage. It does really baffle me with those hard tyres, because as we've just seen, they do take a while to wake up, and if you push on them too early, well, that's the result, isn't it?
Yeah, they're just really tough to get into the window here. Even in the race, like, the mediums can go probably 20 laps comfortably, so I would be surprised even if in the drive drivers are using them really.
Here comes Tijosaurus, championship leader, going into this race. Can he get into the 15s? Just about 15.888. Goes second. Should be safe for Q3. So what we'll see as the rest of the times come flooding in.
Just notice
Alonso. Go on.
Jinx. Right, you can go.
both the same. I did notice Alonso did 2 laps. Both laps invalid, so on the current 3rd one at the moment.
Yeah, and a lot of drivers are running out of ERS before the line, so that'll probably cost them.
Very deep into the last corner as well for Alonso. Those tyres have already done several laps, but he does a 16.7. The banker up, I guess. But probably we need to go a bit quicker than that.
Yeah, Tim is struggling there on his softs. He got a lot of wheel spin out of the stadium section.
That is the thing about the F4 drivers, about ERS management, and you're right. They have throughout the season they have got better over time, but there's still a few that still need to manage it over a lap. You can't just put it in hot lap all the time, can
Yeah,
you? It does
exactly.
work sometimes, but not around here.
Yeah, I was just even looking at a lot of drivers there to check their ERS, and they keep it in hot lap, as you said, for the whole lap, and that affects you because not only do you not have enough battery for the main straight, but it also affects your grip out of low speed corners. And sometimes it might sound stupid, but sometimes it might be better to put your ERS down into medium just to get better exit, and push it back up to hot lap. Um, and that's probably where some of these F4 drivers are losing their time, not due to lack of skill, but just more ERS management.
Blazer Guns is now on the soft tyres, so
Good
ditch
choice.
that idea of going on the hards. I noticed he was did initially look at the mediums, but no, soft tyres, just get yourself through. It's wet in the race, so don't even bother. He's on there now.
Not really. Sorry.
No, go on.
Not really noticing a lot of slipstreaming going on between teammates. That was a decent enough thing in F1 last night. So.
And that can gain you a lot. Although I did notice both Williams are doing it.
Oh really?
I think Tom Eco is giving Blazer Guns a little bit of slipstream, or is he? No, actually not. They're both starting a lap. No, they're both on laps. Maybe there's slipstream in there, but I think he's doing his own lap as well.
We'll see how that fares for them. The dirt year.
Although Blazer Guns was quicker for those first few corners, so now he's going to come into the point of dirty air. Actually, it's going to hamper him.
Oh,
Raikkonen gets into second. A couple of hundredths behind, 3,000ths quicker than Tidge, the guy that he really needs to beat. Yeah, that's the thing with Raikkonen, and well, for everyone really, they need to obviously beat Tidge in the remaining would be 5 races, including this one. Because remember, we do have Monaco to go. Tom Eco has let through Blazer Guns. Maybe there was a better teamwork there. Not going to help him now, because Blazer Guns a bit off on his time. Yeah, it's invalid as well. It's an 18.4.
Yeah, that's strange. Oh, I suppose Eco Maniac was almost 2 tenths and a half down the first sector, so I think he just abandoned that lap. He didn't validate, so maybe it was slipstream. Oh no, he validated. Never mind.
Right, so currently 10th place is a 16.8 from Steve. Rebster's 6 tenths up on his time, so it looks pretty good. So as he's going to cross the line, it's going to be a mid-16. No, doesn't improve. Lost about half a second in the last sector there, Webster.
Yeah, you're right. 4.5 tenths there, the last sector alone. He's still improved though, so there's a lot of time in that lap.
That half a second would have put him safely through. So
yeah.
Laser Guns again. Last sector very deep into the final few corners there. Is he gonna be enough? It's a 16. Yeah, he does. 16.1.
Very nice.
Despite those mistakes.
Oh, both the Taurus coming out right behind each other.
Not orchestrated, because Tim and Eek slowed down straight away, so I don't think there's any slipstream teamwork there. See how Timmer's getting on. Down in 15th at the moment on 18.4. Goes through the middle sector. Junior 15.6.
Oh, very nice. 1-2 for Haas at the moment.
Timmer's a second and a 10th up on his time, so this will be much better. Has to go down to first gear for that chicane in the stadium. Oh, that's a short shift there. He might need no traction. 16.3 puts McCracken outside the top 10. But to me, he short shift out the last corner really quickly. Looks like he was running no traction there.
That'd be very impressive if he is running no traction.
Right, just under 3 minutes to go. Both Toro Rossos on laps. Rebster is on the lap as well, but he's 7/10 down first sector, so he's in a little bit of trouble as Rebster. Steve beginning his lap. McCracken is on one and only a 10th up. There's still trouble.
I wonder if the drivers who decided to retire in Q1 without setting a lap has affected them. Because obviously the other drivers have gotten more running time in these conditions, so because every session is kind of different, you know, it varies.
Oh,
so
there goes McCracken.
oh.
He's fine. 15.5.
And Revster dives into the pits. 13th.
So that's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people on a 15. We have a fair few contenders for pole position, man, but this one's going to be a close one for Q3.
Yeah, it looks like it. See what dude you
And that's the problem for all the championship contenders. You still got people who aren't in the championship, like say Junior, Quaker, Blazer Guns, all could win races, as well as a few others in this field. This shows how close it is.
Yeah, it's very close, honestly. And it might come down to invalidated laps, to be honest, if it's that close, you know. People pushing too hard just to find a little bit here and there and ruining their quali lap, but hopefully not. Hopefully everyone keeps it clean.
Rebster's out. Might have retired in qualifying. Did he not retire in qualifying, did he retire in the pits?
I did see him go into the pits about a minute ago, so maybe he did. I don't think he would have gotten out in time. He was only going into his box with 2 minutes left.
Timmy Neat goes up to 13th, not enough, and he's slowed down on his lap. So Timmy Neat is out.
And
Orphan
Orphan
is
as well.
also slow.
So
Steve is down in his time as well, so
it's the Scotsman.
it's...
Oh, he can't get around in time.
Scotsman, yeah, he's out. Scotsman out.
So Tim is true, eh? GG to him, repping Ireland.
Oh, Steve has lost it in the last corner.
Oh no! He's done a Bottas. Or a...
Moved the barriers.
Yeah.
I think he was trying to rush to get round in time and just either locked up or went too deep in the last corner and he's out.
It's very unfortunate.
Oh, the Scotsman's done the same.
Oh, that's mad.
Did Orphan make it? I think he did. Yeah, Orphan made it.
No way.
Yeah, he's the only one on the lap. Well, this would be
Let's see what he can. Oh,
interesting. Half a second down.
So Tim is retired now,
still
so
keep
he
an eye
can't
on
do
him.
anything about it. It's on Orphan now to knock him out.
See the slight understeer there through this middle set to kind of keep it in the lines.
Oh no.
Oh wow, that's straight over now. I mean, I laugh. I did that a lot on Sunday, so 2 attempts down. I don't think.
Unfortunately,
Still in contention, or
both Toro Rosso's out now. Very reminiscent of last week's boat Red Bulls out.
that Force India's still there, by the way.
That's very
Still
off.
cleared it. Right, so there is your top 10. Yeah, I think we got a few. Let me just check my list, the stats, to see if people have made it to Q3 before. Kraken definitely has. Junior definitely has. Quaker, yep. Quaker is now his 4th time in Q3. Raikkonen, yep. Laser, yep. Tidge most definitely. Dude Eagle, yep. Tomiko, Tomo, and Timmer. So, yep. No new faces in the Q3, unfortunately, but very promising. The time's all quite close, which is all what we love to see.
Just waiting on Overcome Warfare now to retire. And then we'll be moving on to Q3. Love the crowd's reactions to nothing. Jumping up and screaming.
They're just happy to be there. So, there is the end of Q2. Scotsman in 11th, missed out by 9 thousandths of a second in 11th. Steve will start 12th. Torosso Timonique in 13th. Rebstead Racer Point 14th. And Overcome Orphan 15th. And your top 3, Amber?
McCracken in 1st, then followed by Junior, and then Quaker Oats. Only 2.5 tenths off pole, so it's quite close at the top.
Yeah, very, very, very good. Close stuff. 4 attempts covering the top 6. I can't call pole, to be honest. I think it's any one of those 6 there, or you could have someone else surprising in the top 10. And we got Blazer, Tomo, Timmer in there, as well as Dude Eagle. I know Dude Eagle can put out a lap from time to time. So, who's your money on?
Well, if anybody knows who's gonna get pole, it's probably you, Rundle. You've stats on everyone in this league, so I'll let you speak first, and then I'll probably copy that.
Let me just check, actually. Has anyone here not had a pole? So just check that. So Raikkonen's had pole twice. Quaker Oats has had it. Quaker Oats has not had a pole yet. Okay. Blaze has had it once. Tomiko's not had one. Alonso's not had one. Tim has not had one. So yeah, fair few that haven't had their pole before, but obviously Junior's the man in form in terms of the qualifying department. Got pole position last time out. Does qualify very well, Junior, especially lately. So for me, he's the obvious pick. But as I try not to go for the obvious, I'm thinking somebody that absolutely needs it, and that's Raikkonen.
Yeah, that is a. I mean, anyone could really get it, so it's a fair shout.
If you do hot laps, shall we do it on board McCracken? I think he's the first one.
Yeah. Yep. Just cooling his tires down, taking it slow, nice and easy, which is very smart. You don't want to overheat them before you start your lap. So here goes McCracken, starting his first lap of Q3. Down the very, very, very long straight of Mexico. Very high up, it's like 2,200 meters up in the air, so the engines are very stressed. He keeps it in overtake mode, which will give him the best straight line speed. Down to 3rd for the first part, then the 2nd for the second part, and then short. Oh, very squirrely on the exit of turn 3. DRS open into the 2nd straight of the lap, moving over to the right hand side, breaking down to 3rd, and then 2nd. Oh, he goes wide. Takes a close line for the double right-hander. Early on the power, nice line. Doesn't use all the track into the start of the S's. Goes a bit wide.
Invalid.
He's invalid.
See, it's tough. You knew as soon as you start seizing up, that's always the telling sign. Shame. That looked good. That looked good for McCracken, so...
Yeah.
Disappointed. Right, so who was next? I think
It was Raikkonen, wasn't it? No.
I think he slowed it down as well. I think Quaker Oats is still on a valid lap.
Yeah.
That's the problem, isn't it? The pressure of Q3. Very easy to go over the limits, but here comes Quaker into the 15s. No, 16.0. Can go quicker. We've seen people that can, but that's a good sort of banker lap, I think.
Oh,
and he's giving Junior a nice little slipstream behind him.
Yeah, that'll help well.
Oh, the two Williams behind are doing it as well.
Also, they're doing it now.
Giving it to Blazer.
Yeah.
Ah. I'm surprised both Alphas aren't.
It's who can handle the pressure of Q3.
Oh, Tidge goes second, just behind Quaker. Dude Eagle somehow gets in between.
Nice lap from him.
Don't know how. All on a 16 flat. We see the 15. Who's going to be the first in the 15s though?
Yeah, I think Raikkonen validated as well.
That twice he's done now? Yeah, he has. Pressure. I put too much pressure on him now.
Junior. Big wobble out of the S's. I'm not sure if he invalidated there because he went off track, but it looked like he might have. I don't know. He's still continuing.
Very deep in that chicane though.
Yeah, it looks very nonchalant, so I'm not sure. Oh, he's continuing on.
Very nonchalant.
Yeah, like
yeah, goes fourth.
Yeah, okay.
You were right. It did look a little bit. Maybe doesn't like that last sector, but 16-1 for Junior there. Still no one in the 15s. We know they can. We saw them before, so.
Yeah, like his final sector is 4 and a bit tenths down on Quaker Oats' final sector alone, so.
Ooh.
And he's only a tenth and a half off pole, provisional pole, so. Just shows you what he's capable of, really.
I think he's on another lap as well. Eased off ERS. He is on a wheel, and the last sector I've heard from other people on a wheel, that the last sector isn't very good for people on a wheel, so perhaps it's that.
Maybe.
But they're all back in the pits, and only 6 times on the board. There. I think that's Raikkonen coming out early. Yes, it is. With 6 minutes. I think he just wants to get a time on the board. I think Raikkonen.
Yeah. I was gonna say it's more important to get a time on the board than to put your best time on the board. Like yesterday, I decided to go out on worn soft tires just to get it on the board because I was saving them for the race, and that ended up being my fastest time in the session. So because basically the pressure was off and it was just a time on the board basically. So sometimes it can be, that could basically give you pole if you just get it in early.
Big qualifying for Raikkonen and McCracken. You can already see that their championship rival Tidge is in third at the moment and looks to be on pace. So for them, big pressure now. They cannot, on a full wet race, qualify towards the back end of the top 10.
Of the available drivers here, who do you think will take it to Tidge in a racing environment?
I still think, if I had to put my money on it, I still think it'll be Tidge, based on the fact of how consistent he has been for the majority of the season. I know he's had bad races, France being one, last week being another, but he's had 9 podiums, and I think it's 5 wins that he's had. He's the most winnable driver in F4. Normally that leads to a championship, but the others around him, the only reason they're being close is they're equally consistent. May not be winning races, but they're scoring points when Tidge has not been scoring points, the times when he's had bad races.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like Unity.
Still too close for me.
Yeah, it is very close, like looking at F1, like for the Unity basically secured his championship in the first 7 races, it was like Braun in 2009. You know, he was really unmatched. And then now, as the season goes on, the drivers, you know, kind of catching up. But 100-point gap compared to this, where it's only 22. It's anyone is still in play. You know, so yeah, you're right there.
Oh, I think on board with Raikkonen, I think he kept valid. The thing is with those S's, and of course I would know because I cut them purposely, not purposely, but knows which corners. That last bit of the S's, you can run wide and still be valid. I think he's alright. He's going to be in the 15th. He is.
Oh wow,
15-8.
first one. Well done.
Yeah, that last bit of the S's, if you go wide, that still keeps it valid. But obviously, if you don't go too far wide and too far fast wide, if that makes sense. Right, 15-8. And he's got time to save ERS, save tyres to go again potentially. But he set the marker there. Very good.
Yeah, definitely. Looking at the sector times, he's a tenth slower in the first sector and a tenth slower in the final sector, but he makes up 3 tenths to 4 in the second sector. So maybe he's running higher downforce than Quaker Oats. Don't know though.
Both Williams again doing the teamwork slipstream. Tom in front of Blazer, but what they're actually doing is, because what I've seen before is teams have just done the front straight. They seem to be doing both straights, the first and the second after these chicanes here. Yeah, because the teammate stays in front, and then they maybe get out the way. So I think this is the slipstream for Blazer. 28-0 first sector, a little bit of a lock-up.
Yeah, you might, if he's not on a lap here, Tom, you might as well get out of the way because he's going to affect his teammate into these corners.
He's not though. The problem is, I think Tom is on a lap as well.
Yeah.
I think Blazer just cut. No, Blazer! He's cut the corner. He had to ease off.
No. He's got enough
right,
fuel to go around.
Yeah. Where's Quaker? Right, Quaker is out lap, apparently. Thought he was on one. Alonso's.
That's on track as well.
Oh, that's after the S's,
yeah.
I think. If I can see aboard McCracken. The car might have gone. Probably the end of the S is very easy to do. Yep.
Just there.
The wall right hand side.
Alright. Oh yeah, I see now.
That's a shame for Alonso. Right, McCracken. A bit over the curb in the last sector. Be alright. Can he get near Raikkonen? It's going to be a 15. It is! 15-6.
Oh, it's 2 tenths, isn't it? Well done. Oh, Tim is gone.
At the moment.
Turn 3, that's his qualifying over. Only 3rd for Junior.
Yeah, qualifying done.
Well, only 3rd.
9 for Junior. And Blazer do his one and only lap. 15s? Invalid!
Invalidated.
No
way. He might have invalidated on the final line there. On the final straight.
Yeah.
It looked like he was going for it and then kind of went far over. All his laps have been invalidated. Crazy.
Here comes Tidge, last corner. 15. Oh, 15. Oh, he's taking it.
Provision.
Taking it by his teammate. Can anyone get close? Quaker is 4 tenths up though.
Oh. No, never mind. Junior was up, but only by half a tenth in sector 1. He's got no ERS left. So Quaker can
Quaker's
do.
on this.
Yeah.
Quaker's on this. 15. 6. No, he splits the alphas.
It's a good attempt though.
Last one is Junior. Is his pole position run going to be ended by the Alpha of Tigosaurus? Comes around the last sector on the power. 15. 8.
Oh, he improved. Well done.
Stays 4th. Wow. Tigosaurus, pole position. Now, if you want to recover from last week, we don't score any points. That's the way to do it. Pole position for Tig. It means he'll potentially going to have clean and clear and visual air at the front of this race.
Brundle, do you know how many pole positions Tig has now this season?
Oh, good question. That would be his 5th pole position, which makes him also the most pole position by a mile as well. So
yeah, just shows
another stat.
Speed.
Another stat that Tig is also top of, but wow, good stuff.
Yep.
So top 10, it's Alpha Haas, the front 2 rows there, so could be a battle between them. So Tigosaurus takes the pole, Quaker 8 second, 3rd for McCracken, 4th for Junior. Raikkonen he's still in the hunt. Raikkonen, we know he's quick in the wet, so that's a still good position for Raikkonen in 5th, Eagle 6th, Tom Eco in 7th, Timmer in 8th, Alonso 9th, Blazer Guns 10th. I think the most frustrated would be Blazer, because that was a 15 on his last lap. That would have put him right near the front, but he's starting 10th.
Oh, heavy rain. That is a lot of rain.
That's not heavy rain, that's a storm. That's a monsoon.
Gonna need a boat.
Jesus. Oh goodness, wow. Wow.
Good luck to these F4 drivers.
Turn 1's going to be fun. Really fun. That midfield, they're not going to see a thing going all the way down to turn 1, and that's a very long run down to turn 1. It's interesting enough in the dry, we've seen like 4 or 5 wide in the dry this week. In the rain, you got the braking points as well, which change completely, especially in full wet. This is monsoon, isn't it? That's
yeah, definitely.
That's bucketing. That's the most rain I think I've seen.
Yeah, it's probably the most rain this season, honestly. For F1 I've seen, and probably F4 as well. Just looking at the championship here, if Raikkonen can capitalise on Primus's absence here and get a podium, he'll be tied for points in 3rd place, which means he goes up to a position again 2 consecutive weeks in a row.
Yep. Can also push himself away from Alco behind him.
Yep.
So then again, if McCracken has a good race, because McCracken's 3rd, directly behind his teammate, if he can have a good race, Tig has another bad one, McCracken takes the lead of the championship.
He's very fortunate to get pole and in the race to be wet, because in the dry, pole isn't necessarily the best place to be. It's a lot like Russia. You can be swarmed and you've got no slipstream from the car ahead and drop back, but because it's the rain, it might be fine for him.
I think anything can happen with this. I think the start's going to be key. I think first corner's going to be key as well. Again, I think who's going to keep control the best through that middle sector. Middle sector, left, right. You need to have a really stable car in these conditions to handle it. So it's going to be down to this.
It really is the worst track to have full wet conditions.
I think Belgium, because of Eau Rouge.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Isn't? Yeah. What's another one? Abu Dhabi, although that's very rare.
Yeah.
USA in full wet. That's not great. That first sector.
That's a lot like here though, because there's a lot of fast corners with the S's, and then also a lot of low traction zones with the almost 3 hairpins on the track.
Yeah, I think any track isn't great at all in full wet. I
Yeah,
don't think there's even a track that gets better. It's just
Germany's
the only
pretty good in the rain.
advice.
That's
Yeah,
a
I
nice
like Germany in
track.
the rain.
Yeah,
The only advice I would personally, because I love the rain. I love the rain.
yeah, yeah. It's great.
Um, any F1 game that I've had, I've always been my pace compared to like in the dry, where my pecking order is in terms of pace wise, goes up in the rain. I haven't really tested it out so far this season. Don't think we've had many wet races in F2. But yeah, best advice really is to basically be patient. Um, first few laps, just gradually get yourself into it. Doesn't matter if you lose places. You just got to find out where the breaking points are, because it changes. Changes a lot from the dry. Got to brake a lot more earlier. Obviously turn in earlier as well, and you just got to sort of, especially the middle sector at this track, you got to sort of keep an eye on what the car in front is doing. If you can sense that the car is going too deep into the corner, adjust your braking line, adjust your turn in, and then you can maybe make the overtake. But probably put a higher brake pressure as well. That's what I sometimes do. And differential. The throttle differential, I always put it a lot lower than what it normally is. Why am I stalling? They being well behaved, or someone just forgot? Ready up. I've been talking for a while actually.
Yeah, maybe just being sure, making sure that they have everyone there ready.
Yeah, Verstappen saying I'm mad. It works for me. That's all I'm gonna say. It works for me. It worked for you, may not work for anyone else. Works for me. Come on, boys. I want to get started. I'm not here all night.
I think they're afraid of it, Ryan.
The longer this goes on, the longer I'm thinking there's a problem. Yeah, for me, I think the one to watch is going to be Raikkonen. Last few times I've seen him in the wet, does seem to be one of the top guys whenever it's rained. It's not rained often, but yeah, it does seem good. Yeah, Blazer might be one to watch as well. Obviously not seen his pace. Well, seen his pace, but it wasn't valid. So, there we go. Finally.
Nice one.
In terms of valid as well, another thing I found out about the rain is track limits are actually easier to sort of behave, because obviously you're going slower. So
Yeah.
might not get to see a few of those, or as many as people would see in the dry, but here we go. Anything can happen, I guess. Obviously the first question would be, is this conditions going to stay? Might get better, but it's just going to be who's going to be consistent around here. So let's take us through the grid, Bamba.
Yeah, so on pole with his 5th pole position of the season is Tejasaurus in the Alfa Romeo. Great lap from him. In second place is Quaker Oats, continuing his great form from Japan, with P2 up on his performance from last week, in the Haas. Then followed him is McCracken in the Alfa Romeo, teammate of Tejasaurus. Decent qualifying from him. And then it's RSF1 Junior on the back of his first pole position in RSF1. So it's in Alfa Romeo, Haas, top 4. Then comes the first McLaren, the only McLaren tonight, of Raikkonen, who will be looking to capitalise on the absence of Primus and Alco Saints, who aren't here and won't be scoring any points. After Raikkonen will be Dude Eagle in the Renault, decent qualifying from him. Then it's Tom the Eco Maniac in 7th, followed by Tima in the second Renault in 8th, who had not a great... Oh, and he goes off.
Yeah,
Yeah, Tima.
yeah.
didn't have a great qualifying. Same as Alonso, who lost it through these corners that he's going through right now. He can only manage 9th. Yellow Blazer Guns probably won't be happy with his performance in 10th, but will be hoping to get up higher into the field. Scotsman 11th in the first racing point, followed by the only Mercedes here, Steve, with a great helmet in 12th. And then the first Toro Rosso, Dominique, in 13th. And then the second racing point of RSF1 Revster, 14th. And then to close the field in 15th, we have the second Toro Rosso and last of the bunch, Overcome Orphan.
Thank you very much. So, one thing I have noticed is, as they go around the lap, the grass had puddles in it. And there's a lot of standing water. That's when you can tell that it's raining so much. 36 laps around here. 15 of these drivers are going to take us through horrible conditions. Anything can happen, I guess, around this track tonight. Can we see another chapter in the F4 Championship as we go for 5 red lights? No, we're going to 2. I cannot see 5. Oh well, we're going for 2. And away we go. Everyone's struggling from the start. Junior has a very good start ahead of his team. McCracken is they're going 3 wide. McCracken and the 2 Haas boys, they've got 3 wide behind as well. Cannot see the spray. Camera, hello. There we go, straight into turn 1. Can we keep it clean? Digisaurus keeps the lead, but goes deep into turn 1. Can anybody capitalise? No, they're all struggling. Through here, there's a Ferrari sideways behind. They're all going through Blazer guns. There's a bit of front wing body damage going through. I mean, Blazer's sliding all over the place. And when Kraken's right up his gearbox of Digisaurus. This is ridiculous. Can he get the move? They're almost struggling for grip.
Oh,
Right,
Junior's lost it.
Oh.
Junior's lost it.
Where's Junior? Where is he?
He's in 14th.
He's spun.
He's got wing
damage as well. Oh, he hates the rain. Absolutely despises it. As Quake Quotes McCracken running through. They've just got a bit of a gap as they go through the first sector. Oh, there's a bit of ghosting.
He's got damage. Quaker Oats' right end plate damage.
Oh, he does. But he's got in front, but there's no brakes at all. In that Haas, and Tid has gone wide as well. They're all so struggling with this grip. And the pack is all really, really close. Tidge cannot get away. He cannot. No one can get grip. No one at all.
Looks
absolutely
torrential.
The spray on board. This is a monsoon. But look at Quaker Race. He's got a good run on Digisaurus. Might be taking the lead off of him. I can't see. This is ridiculous. And Quaker Race, is he going to take the lead? There's a little bit of a lag going on. A little bit of a slowdown, but Quaker is still side by side. Can he take the lead? He does.
Nice move. They left each other a lot of space there, I think, because Quaker Oats is quite laggy, so that might have frightened Tage out of it. Nevertheless, Quaker Oats with wing damage is up into
careful.
P1.
Oh, the braking zone. Did Tidge get damaged? There was a tap. Tap from his teammate behind. Look at them all. They're also really close. Back to Alonso at 9th.
Yeah, Scotsman's gone on a opportunistic attempt to overtake Dude Eagle there for 6th. He's one of the biggest winners of lap 1. He's moved up 4 positions.
Look how slow they're going through the middle sector. It's ridiculous. I mean, I'd love to be in this.
Fair play to them. Yeah. Oh, that's late. That's a late lunge. Contact between the two. That might be even penalty. Oh, and there's wing damage.
Was that Tidge and Quaker?
Yeah, Tidge missed his braking point and had to cut the corner, made contact, and then McCracken hit the back of his teammate and has lost wing damage, or has got wing damage.
The race that's given Quaker a lot of breathing space at the front.
And Blazer goes
3.
Down in last, he's got wing damage as well. Looks like half the field is wing damage.
Oh, here comes Tomiko. Front. Oh, I was looking at frontline speed for Tomiko, and he's not. Raikkonen looks very racy. Oh, no, that's it. He was looking at McCracken on the second part of the chicane. Had to back out of it. Blazer couldn't capitalise.
Oh, great move
Also,
from Scotsman into sixth there. He's really, really good in these conditions.
also, Tim was right behind his teammate Dudico as well.
Oh yeah.
Quaker, despite the damage, is pulling on both of these Alphas now.
That's crazy.
Don't know how he's doing it.
And he's used none of his ERS as well because of these conditions. Same with McCracken.
I've seen only one penalty so far, and I think that was Alonso.
Yeah.
A couple of laps to go. They go through. Tidge has gapped McCracken. McCracken's struggling a little bit now, damage. Struggling more than Quaker, right, it seems. They're in the 30s. In the dry, they'll be doing 15s, 16s. No, race would actually be like 17, 18s, isn't it?
Yeah, that final sector almost looks like they're in half speed, you know, they're slowed down.
Oh, Raikkonen, no!
Raikkonen,
Brakes!
Yeah. He did well to avoid McCracken.
Oh. Yeah, had to back out of nailing McCracken. He's lost the point, lost the position to Tomiko. Safety car!
Oh, safety car, what? What's that for?
How? Oh, Blazer Guns has had an off, I think, because he's at the back, way behind.
He still has his. I think that's because he pitted.
Steve.
Oh no!
Steve speeding under. Where's the safety car?
That is, yeah, bizarre, honestly.
There wasn't anybody off.
No.
No one's retired. I think Blazer Guns may have had a spin.
The only car. There's only 3 cars on the track within the 33s, and that is Junior in 11th, Tigosaurus in 2nd, and the leader with wing damage, Quaker Oats. That's before the safety car. But
the rain's going so. Coming down so hard. There's fog if you look down the
yeah.
middle sector. Right, so safety car now. Yeah, look at the murky grey on board of Quaker Oats. If you go on TV pod, you can't see turn 1.
Yeah, it looks like
Insane.
fog and mist. Yeah.
Absolutely insane. Oh, Alonso and Junior. Time penalties as they was going through. That's another thing you got to be
might
careful.
have to serve this here.
Would he serve it here?
Yeah.
Oh, he does. No, that's good for him actually, because now he doesn't have the penalty hanging over him.
He doesn't choose to change his wing though. Well, maybe he just got damaged there and couldn't change it. Oh, what's happened?
No, didn't change it in time.
Oh, I think they did, but the animation didn't come up.
Oh yeah. Junior decided to get his wing damage out the way. Interesting, Quaker and McCracken did not.
Yeah. I guess he thinks he's pretty good on these, well, even with wing damage, which is true, and track position is pretty good, so. This is bizarre, honestly, to have a safety car with no apparent, like, crash.
I have seen it before.
Maybe it's because of the rain.
Where, yeah, no. I don't think there's ever been a safety car for rain. Or then we'd be out forever.
Yeah, that's true.
Where do you see the cars?
Safety cars there.
Because it won't change. One thing I am noticing, and that's just because the cars are going round, is there is not a dry line, but there's a place where there's less water on it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where the racing line is. And that's basically for the formation lap here. Well, Quaker was going to go in. No. Hold cool.
This is probably the most rain I've seen, like, without it. Well, honestly, it is. Like, You can even see it bouncing up off the track in the final sector. It looks like there's no line at all. It just looks like a giant puddle.
There you go, guys, on the stream. That is the spray from Timony on board of him. So, ridiculous stuff, and I don't think it's going to improve anytime. We haven't been told otherwise.
It'll take a while for this track to dry up.
Yeah, very long time. What's behind it? Look at this.
Did you see that from Tijosaurus?
Oh. Yeah, I think on board. Tim has
Yeah,
dropped
did you
back.
see? That's a really good effect. I never even noticed in the game. He went offline there to potentially warm his tyres and swerved a bit, and the actual track, because of the amount of rain, the puddles deformed, and it looked like, honestly, it looked like he was going through a river.
I was seeing the fact that the murkiness, basically.
Yeah.
The spray. Oh, don't! Oh no!
What's happened?
Don't do that. That was terrible. Yeah, Rebster. I saw that. That's another thing as well. That's something these well, everyone in the league hasn't really practiced that much. Is behind the safety car. Basically, Timmer had to slam on his brakes because car in front, which was his teammate, slowed down. Rebster couldn't react in time, and Rebster's got a penalty and damage to his front wing. So that's not good for Rebster at all.
You should always keep a good second gap behind safety car, because you're in no rush. Everyone has to go crocodile formation, so they might as well, take it calm. Oh, I think Tim is.
Safety car in this lap. No.
No, saying out again. Guys are going
but it
to
said.
catch up.
But okay, that's weird, because it said safety car in this lap, right?
Yeah.
Lights turned off, and it's almost as if no, because normally, right, when it says safety car in this lap, they only do it with like what 3 or 4 corners to go.
Yeah.
But that went off as they started the lap. I thought for a split second like the safety car was going to go straight in.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben's just pointing it out in the chat. Yeah, that was weird.
Well, this is a weird race, honestly.
It's F4, isn't it? They tend to have these races. I mean, Spain, you had 2 safety cars, including one right at the end because of a spin. And then Timmer won because he didn't have penalties, and he was like 7th over the line.
Yeah.
Other races out there. You had last week in Japan. There's been other races as well. It's been absolutely ridiculous. Baku had like 6 finishes. I mean, again, you got the Monaco finale, which is probably going to be the craziest race of the season to sum it all up. Heavy rain. Right, so safety car in this lap. I am very worried because of the weirdness of when it went off. I'm worried that there's going to be a glitch of some kind. It's going to stay out.
Yeah, because it doesn't say safety car in for me. It just says safety car yellow flag.
It said it at the start of the lap for me. We'll see. The Quaker Orphan with Rebster. Yeah, you see that's the problem. We're all bunching up.
It's gone in.
The safety car is in, and away we go. Look at the spray on board Tijosaurus as he tries to get the restart. McCracken's right behind him, and they're all flying down into turn 1 with the front line speed. There we go. That's my opportunity. As Tijosaurus going to go try and run the outside of Quakerites. Can he do it? I think he can. McCracken's trying to follow him, but no. Tidge takes back the lead. McCracken's still. Careful. Kraken, you still got damage. But Tom Eco's right behind as well in 4th. As they all go through, and there's a gap. There's a gap behind Timmer of about 4 seconds. Something's happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, Orphan's in 9th, but he's way behind, so something's happened there. Back up to the leaders though. So Tidge takes the lead.
He needed to do that.
I tried saying it. I couldn't say it with more passion. My voice is going. Oh, sliding.
Looks like all the position changes are happening up the front at the moment, as they're kind of single file through the S's.
Oh, Miko is having a look at all. And McCracken's gone wide, Raikkonen as well. Oh, still, it's the grip and the brakes. Raikkonen's having real trouble slowing that car down. Did it a few times. Tidge remains in the lead ahead of Quaker. McCracken again seems to be struggling with that damage bumper more than Quaker does. It's almost like Quaker doesn't have any.
Yeah, look, it seems like he doesn't have any because he's rapid in these conditions, which I'd like to see him without wing damage. See how fast he is. Oh, his Tidge goes wide. It's a bad line through the rest of those series of corners. Should give Quaker a little chance. No, he's too far back.
Junior's up to 9th. As I said, there's a 4-second gap.
Oh, no!
Raikkonen!
Raikkonen!
No!
Oh, no! I think Raikkonen just struck off the brake and just ran straight into him with the rapid downshifts as well.
He's trying to get back on, but he's going to wait for everyone to go by.
Oh, no.
He did not.
In a race
did
where
not need that.
Championship rivals aren't here, that is the least. That is not what he wanted. Big gap to third place then, so the front two are kind of running away with this.
A long way to go when you're on lap 9.
Yeah.
Again, they all go round at the minute 30s because the grip is just almost, it's detraction as well, it's ridiculous. But Tom's looking racy behind McCracken. Orphan's been off, and he's gone down to 12th out the points.
Laser Guns made 2 pit stops already.
Yep. It's again struggling to get the car down, and Quaker Oats is all over him.
It seems inevitable that he's
good
going to
drive
get
he
past.
does. He's on the outside, going to turn 5, I think it is. Can he get there? Tidge goes wide. Can Quaker do the cutback on this next corner? No. Tidge parks the car. Both battling. It's allowing McCracken, Eco, Doodle, Timmer's still in 6th.
That's really
Great
good
stuff.
from him. Yeah.
I say who also is not out of it, Junior, because he's closed the gap that was there from Timmer backwards, and yeah, he's now less than a second behind Scotsman, so he's going to be in this battle soon.
Yeah, and he got rid of his wing damage through the safety car, so that's played into his hands well. Now he can just crack on with it and get past his.
McCracken and Tom. I feel like McCracken here is holding up a bit of a train behind him. Really struggling with that damage. Maybe he's got slightly more than Quaker.
Maybe. It'll be interesting to see if he stays out with that for until the next series of pit stops. But Junior gets
Quaker's
his
got another run
50.
on Tidge, just up on the inside, and Tidge stays round the outside again. Quaker holds it though. Through turn 3, takes the lead back.
Oh, contact! Tim is round. Oh, half spin. Scotsman cut the corner to overtake Tim, got a penalty, and then they met, and that's dropped Tim down 2 places, handed to Junior, which will make him happy.
I feel like if Tom can get past McCracken, he can then set off after these two. I don't think McCracken has the pace to keep up with the front guys.
Look how much he's struggling through the S's. He's offline massively. If he doesn't, if Tom gets a bit impatient here, we could see another bit of contact, because it's important. See, oh no, Good save from McCracken. Just the speed
Great
differential is causing those kind of collisions because the car ahead is so much slower than the car behind.
You can see this train now. You got Eagle there, you got Scotsman, you got Junior now is in this.
Big moves from Scotsman, 5 positions up on his qualifying.
Yeah. I was thinking as well, Junior's also pitted, so he's on slightly fresher tyres than all those in front of him.
Round the outside.
Oh, he's going for ambitious move.
He's gone.
That was always going to close.
I don't know what to make it of.
Well, oh, and he's pulled out right in front of Alonso, and that's
no.
stopped Alonso as well. Made a situation. Oh, he's gone right back across as well. I think Alonso would be very happy with that, but I think Alonso got damage as well.
2 laps, 2 bits of contact for Scotsman, so he'll want to keep his nose clean the rest of the race. Doesn't do him any justice.
It seemed to me, I didn't really get a good angle on it. McCracken's gone wide. Tom Miko's going to go try around the outside. This would be a brave move. They both struggle for brakes going into here, and McCracken keeps in there. They both go wide. Both really struggling.
Struggling so much.
I really think though, Tom, if he can get by, he can catch Tidge, and Tidge has actually fallen away from Quaker a little bit. So McCracken's really holding these guys up. They're doing a job so far.
On the straight, you just can't gain anything on him. Like.
In the corners, he's so much better though.
Yeah.
He's got a good drive though. Out in the last corner, can he make this be an ambitious dive? If he does, no, thinks better of it. Very wise from Tom. He knows he's got the time. It's only lap 13. Again, you can see how slow McCracken is.
And that's costing Tom's exits, which then affects his second attempt to get past him. Because he can't get the cut back, because McCracken is doing well enough to place it on the apex of every corner and just make sure that Tom can't get his nose in.
Yeah, for me on that, obviously the stewards will look at it, but for my initial thing, and that's just from the angle I got, it looked a bit ambitious because the gap was always going to close.
Yeah, true.
In that turn 3, so
it's also a tight corner. On the exit, it's quite it's an acute angle, so.
Then on the opposite, maybe Scotsman could have given him more room, but
true.
It's a bit of that. Tom this time he's on the inside, not side by side though. He still can't find a way by. It's frustrating to watch. You can imagine what he's like in the cockpit.
Yeah, as Quaker Oats extends his lead to almost 2.5 seconds over Tidge. Can
you check the laps quickly that McCracken's doing compared to Quaker?
32.5 basically for Quaker, and McCracken is doing 33.7, so 1.2 seconds
so
the difference.
Is way off. Nearly 5 seconds off the leaders now.
Then again, he's only 5/10 off Tidge, so looks like Quaker Oats is about 5 to 7 tenths a lap quicker than Tidge in second place. So. And
he's got
don't
damage.
forget, he's got damage, that's crazy.
No, how?
That is, that's crazy.
The only thing that will hamper him, and this is another question that maybe you can help me with here, pit stops. Obviously this rain looks to me to be staying. Might have eased off no, it's not eased off really at all. So we're with this, by the looks of it, to the end. Full wets, can they go a full race distance? I don't think they can.
No. Well, the top 7 are yet to pit, and they're going onto their 15th lap now, so I'm guessing they could probably push them to about lap 18 and then do another 18 laps on the wets if the weather isn't going to change, which it looks like it won't. The track is just way too wet for that. So
it's definitely slight. So, for example, no one can try a no stop.
Oh yeah, no, you get disqualified. You have to stop.
Oh, you
But
have to
because it,
stop.
yeah, you have to definitely stop. It's but because it's the rain, they only have to use one tire combat. They don't have to use
Oh.
different ones, so they can go onto the wets again.
Oh, we've got a double move going on. No, Tom again thinks better of it. Scotsman though is on the inside of Dude Eagle for 5th. And nice.
Well done. Scotsman moving up. Oh, change with a first penalty. That won't do him any. And he's
Tell
had
you
a
what,
shocker of a last lap.
I tell you what, yeah, he's well behind Quaker.
Yeah.
McCracken again. Deep parks the apex though. Can Tom Eco finally
Is this it?
get by? No, he can't.
This must be
Onside.
so frustrating for Tom. The faster car just can't get by him because McCracken is doing a great job of holding him up, basically.
Well, this for McCracken that is major because at the moment he doesn't have the pace in his teammate. He wanted to beat his teammate, not looking like it. So, bare minimum, he's got to hold on to third. But look, he's got the whole train. I think Junior, who's had an incident, as Blazer has got past him up.
It's all kicking off now into the stadium section.
Junior span or half span. He's now at the back of this.
And what's even more incredible is Blazer Guns has stopped twice, and all the cars around them
Oh yeah.
haven't stopped apart from Junior and Alonso, who stopped once. So he's doing really well, and I believe he holds the fastest lap. Yeah, he does, 30.7, which is 1.7 seconds quicker than the leader. So he is flying.
Oh, Scotsman! Break! None of them.
Straight on.
Oh.
Don't join there.
He is incredibly. Don't get back on in front of the racing line. Stay off. Tom Eco's a lucky man.
Yeah, here
Good
goes
driving
Blazer
from
onto
Scotsman.
onto the inside, late braking, doesn't lock up.
Oh,
Nice. Oh yeah. Oh, he hangs in there.
they're still there. That's all right.
Really nice move. Really nice move from Blazer Guns there. He's probably one of my
Scotsman.
favourites for a podium here.
Scotsman on the outside of Eagle. Both Renaults are starting to struggle a little bit.
Oh,
Scotsman. Oh,
yeah,
that's
runs into him,
bad.
gives him a nudge, which will
Scotsman
allow
has
Blazer
damage.
Guns to catch up. Look at that, Blazer Guns is right on the back of his teammate
Oh,
McCracken.
Junior just no. Junior
No,
just
what
gave
happened?
Scotsman a slight tap.
Scotsman. Good
Race
race
from
turned
bad to
into.
worse.
Yeah, exactly. But Blazer Guns is in a fantastic position for a podium here. He's definitely the fastest on track.
Both Williams look good here, but
Well,
again, they're just going to move by.
yeah, I wonder if the team orders here.
And the rain
Steve Blazer
has definitely easing off. That rain looks eased off for me. Eco. Yeah, look on TV pod. It's definitely not raining as hard as it was.
Yeah. Oh wow. Teach looks like he's found a bit of pace. He set the his personal best. What happened? Oh no!
Oh, what's happened there? He mounted the back of McCracken's car.
What happened there? Yeah, it might have been a bit of lag because some cars ghosted, and Thomas got damaged
A
now.
lot of lag.
Thomas got major front wing damage right side as well, which will cost him into the left-handers.
Well, he tapped the back of McCracken, giving him damage, and then all of a sudden he just like burst forward, or McCracken just jumped backwards.
Let's see what Blazer Guns can do here.
Look at Blazer,
No
yeah.
penalties. Oh, he goes for it.
Oh, it's a
That's
lot.
contact, yeah, that's contact.
Oh no!
No, shouldn't have gone there.
Oh, that's why you don't do that.
Yeah,
That's
should
why you
have just
don't do
waited
that right in
until the
front of
straight.
Timmer.
That's crazy. As soon as a driver has some good luck, he's settling into the race, boom, over. It's happened to Revster, it's happened to Scotsman, it's happened to Raikkonen, and now it's happened to Blazer Guns. And
Well,
somehow
you gotta be patient
Junior
in these
is in
conditions, though.
6th. Go for
Back
moving
Eagle.
to Eagle. Yeah.
Now I think Junior's in the driving seat for a podium still. I think I know why it is. Why Junior's now working through, because it's drying up.
Yeah, true, that's true.
Be into soon. Which, for the leader and for McCracken, is bad, because they both have damage.
Yeah, that is.
And I think they'd repair it. Or would they keep it, actually?
Yeah, so it looks like Tage has kind of got grip of his speed now. His last lap was a 32.9, which is, and his previous lap to that was a 36 personal best, which is only 4/10 off Quaker Oats.
Okay, so Tom has damage. Look at Junior. Junior's absolutely flying now.
Laser Gun just overtook Timma into the corner that he half spun in, which is pretty ironic.
Eco's really struggling with that damage now. That front wing is not, and he's pitting.
Yep.
Oh, bold call.
And Junior's up to 4th, so where he started.
What tyres is Tom going to go on? Tim is pitting as well. And it's a set of full wets. And a full wets as well.
That's all they can do.
Not intermediates yet.
Overcome pits as well.
Yeah, had a penalty going on, another set of full wets.
So no retirement so far, which is really good.
Yeah, good stuff. So Junior now. This is the next driver that McCracken's got to keep behind. He's get behind both Williams, who've now pitted. You can see how much he's struggling, the confidence that Junior has all of a sudden. And look, he's going to go for the same move. Same move as Blazer did, but this time...
Did he get it done?
Very clean. Yeah, job still done. There, but Junior's got this.
Very nice, up in the podium positions. Oh, Blazer Gun! Half spun it as well. Blazer Gun would have been just where Junior is, but those half spins have cost him.
Junior's in.
Oh,
Junior's in. Tidge on intermediates.
And, yeah, intermediates. That's a bold call. And same for Junior. Intermediates.
Oh.
Keep an eye on the sector 2 times when they come out.
So now this is the problem with full wets and intermediates. You can't tell unless the engineer calls it. If that makes sense. It's not a case of wets to dries, is it?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they're still both wet tires, like, so.
Yeah, this is a case of where you got to really trust your engineer.
4 drivers.
Blazer, oh, Blazer nearly spun it.
He's just been struggling since that contact. But he's still up in 4th, so still some good points on the table. Well, a net 6th. There's Timma and...
Timma's trying to have a go at Timonique. Timma on fresh wets.
Tage's second penalty.
Oh, trying to go all the way around the outside. No, surely not.
In 1st as well, that is dangerous. Nice move.
Timma's got Timonique.
Well done.
It took such a wide line. I'm not sure. So Quaker's in with the damage. So he decided to repair it. McCracken's in.
Quaker's middle sector that lap was a 36 flat. And Tage's was a 34.9. So 1.1 seconds. Junior's was a 34.3, so 6/10 faster than Tage. So it looks like it is intermediates.
And look at the gap now. The gap was about 6 seconds because of that damage repair. Tage is now back on him, and Junior is now into 3rd.
Then again, Tage does have 2 penalties, so and Quaker Oats doesn't have one yet.
Look how much time. how much time McCracken's lost. He's going to lose to Tom Eco, who's still
so
on
many
wets.
positions. 3
Tom
positions
Eco's still
there
on wet
gone.
tyres.
Oh, he's gone. Oh, so
Oh.
close to hitting McCracken.
Oh, Eagle's there. His teammate. Yep. I think you're right. It's intermediates now, isn't it?
Yeah. Sector times are massively improved. Right.
Yeah, Timmer's still on full wets and he's really struggling. So intermediates time we are at. Again, really there. Right, so biggest gain out of all this is Junior. He's
Definitely.
now in a net third, chasing down Tigosaurus and he's catching them.
He is currently on 2 penalties, the same as Tidge, so if he wants to get this 1-2 for Haas, he's going to have to catch and overtake Tidge, unless Tidge gets some more penalties. But setting a fast now won't do Junior any.
6. 28.7. Almost 2 seconds quicker.
They've just
Flying.
changed just like that. They've just swapped conditions from full wet to inters. Oh, Timmer's gone.
Where is he?
He's pitting now. I
He's
think
coming
he
into
lost
the
it.
pits.
I think he lost it into the... Oh, he's on the wet, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's ruined him. Raikkonen.
Tom Eco's still in the wets.
Oh. Yeah. Raikkonen's gonna get in the points here. And yeah, Tom Eco, as you said, still has to pit, so I don't know what he's gonna stay now. Maybe he doesn't think Inters will make it to the end, so he wants to minimise the laps after they won them. Yeah, and Junior isn't catching Tidge, he's lost half a second.
Sorry about that.
Right.
Raikkonen's back with the Scotsman. Had to give him some wide berth, and in doing so, went over the curbs. Nice, where's the battle? Yeah, Tom Eco is really struggling now. Should have put on intermediates in the last lap.
This is gonna, when Tom Eco pits, it's gonna promote Raikkonen to 9th, which is really good for him after being last basically for so many laps.
Right, lap 23. Race leads and is pulling away from Tidge, but Tidge's being caught by Junior. And you got Kraken in 4th, Dude Eagle, who's got Blazer guns all over the back of him. That's a lunge from Blazer. Can he get it stopped in time? And he does. Dude Eagle
Done and dusted.
just about lets it go.
How Blazer comes in 5th? I don't know.
Miko finally bits, and that's put himself outside of the points.
Madness.
But breaking
Only
into
driver.
8th despite everything he's had.
Exactly, yeah. What a comeback drive from 15th to 8th. The only driver in the 28th is Quaker Oats. The next, well, apart from Junior then, but the next best team to that is 1 second off. And man, it looks like Quaker Oats is in a bloody race of his own.
Scotsman's just got past Timonique, or are they battling? They're battling for 9th place there. Timonique into 10th. I think Tom is going to start catching and challenging for that last point. I tell you, the biggest loser out of all this was Timmer, because he was solidly in that top 6
Yeah, he was 6th
with his teammate, and he's now 13th.
Still a third race to go, so and they are quite close because of course the conditions. So there's almost a train forming from 8th down to 13th.
Laser guns right at the back of McCracken. McCracken has not looked comfortable in the full wets or in these conditions or in these intermediates and Blazer. This looking again.
Yeah.
Yeah, McCracken spent pretty much the entirety of this race defending.
Yeah. So he's probably the best in the grid at it. Oh, Junior's half the. It's only 4 seconds off Tidge now, so.
Got 37 viewers now.
Nice.
Really good
All
stuff.
here for your
Really good
birthday.
stuff. Thank you, guys. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the support as always. I mean, we had 12 in qualifying, so it's jumped right up since then.
I think to hear about
Not
the
much
rain
is
and
qualifying.
something. Yeah. Yeah, qualifying.
Yeah.
For.
My question at the moment is, could we possibly get dries by the end?
Oh, good. Yeah, good shout. I didn't even think about that, to be honest.
There is a drying line here for fine for intermediate. Says Blazers having a go
Ooh.
at McCracken for 4th place. Same move as he did on Eagle.
Oh, no.
Slides out. Oh, they locked tyres. And
Yeah,
Blazers through.
looks like he locked the rear right and front right, and that just kind of sent him into a little bit of a spin there, and he corrected it, but that meant he had to straighten up the steering, which ran him into McCracken. Don't think it was intentional, but obviously would happen nonetheless.
McCracken is now going to defend from Dude Eagle.
Tim on Steve for 12th. Oh, nice move from Timber there.
Yeah, and Timonik has not let go of that last point behind Tom Eco.
Junior's definitely catching Tage, and Quaker Oats pulling away.
This is up again, the Junior. I think he was saving his tyres a little bit there, Junior. Now all of a sudden he's back on the pace, chasing down Dudosaurus. Right, positions gained. We'll be looking at Blazer up 6. Good start from him. Just qualifying behind. Flags are set to 2. I think maybe Orphan letting the leaders go through.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, he's been lapped at the moment. Yeah,
well done for him.
the leaders go through.
Dry line definitely forming now. That black tarmac is coming through.
Still raining enough for intermediates though.
First penalty for Blazer Guns. Oh, second actually.
I love how it's changed so much from right at the start of this race. You could barely see turn 1 and now you can see it clearly.
Yeah, it was mad. And still, yeah, again, not one retirement, so well done to all the drops here. Big improvement from last week.
Has been a few iffy moves there.
Yeah.
But you can blame the conditions rather than other stuff. Bit too late there, Rammer. Bye, Rammer.
See you later, man. Junior could have Tage in a couple of laps.
That was another thing. Easton had a bet of if the Alphas, was the bet Easton, if the Alphas weren't winning, then you would change your name.
That's.
He mentioned it. He mentioned it earlier.
That's a lot to rest on there. Not one thing, especially because Quaker Oats won the last race and now he's leading this one. So.
Yeah. Apparently, he's having a bet on if either Alpha didn't win, then he would change his name to Album. RSF1 Album.
What album?
Yeah. Apparently so.
Maybe he just
And
wants
he's
to
just
change that
confirmed it in the
anyway.
chat
He
as
just
well.
wants an excuse, you know.
Yeah, because clearly you weren't listening from what we were saying, as anybody in this field can challenge for wins, so...
Yeah.
And as you're saying, Quaker won the last race, and he's winning again, so...
Which and what's even more mad is if Junior gets Tage here and keeps second, the top two are the same as last week. But this time they're both for the same team.
The only Quaker was in McLaren.
Yeah, and it's a full 44 points for Haas. Which I'll check now, see what that brings them up.
Oh, look at Steve. He's checking out Steve having a go at Timonique. Doesn't have the speed on him now. No, couldn't get it stopped. Again, in terms of the teams championship, you're right, Bamba. This would be huge for the team, because this would leap him into the battle for third in constructors.
Yeah, and all thanks to Quaker. You know, he's gifted well, he's not gifted, but he's helped McLaren up to third, and then now he might just demote them again.
Yeah, Junior now within a second behind Tetrosaurus.
And he's got one less penalty, so it looks like it's... Yeah, Haas could go to 6th here. And then... Still a good way off McLaren, but still... It's the maximum
Steve and
points.
Timonique. Steve has got past Timonique for 12th.
Nice move into the hairpin stadium. Oh!
Right, back to Junior. In a second now, I think he gets a good run out the last corner. This would be a good opportunity for him.
Yeah. And Raikkonen in 8th still, so doing well.
Ooh, a little bit of a slight vintage. At the last corner, let's see, into overtake. No DRS, but he's getting closer. It could be a lunge. No, I think not this lap, maybe next lap if you can be a little bit closer.
Era shouldn't be a
still
problem,
got plenty.
so...
Yeah, still got plenty of time. Tidge has a little bit more ERS.
Yeah, it's just like these, looks like these conditions do not, the full wet, and then there's the, as Titch slides almost off the track. That's going to invite Junior in right now into this double right-hander. See if he takes it. Oh, he wisely backs out.
Come on, Junior, you still got 6 laps to do this.
If you're rooting for Junior, I'm going to have to root for Titch.
No, I'm just saying, you know, equal here, just...
Yeah, we want the battle.
It's one of... It's one of those things, you want it to be clean.
Yeah.
He's already had an incident with Scotsman earlier.
I think that'll probably go down as a racing incident, to be honest. Especially because of the conditions.
Yeah, it happens to potentially same instant, isn't it? It's maybe putting the car in a place that you don't need, but he's got a much better run out this last corner. Tidge not putting it in overtake, but Junior is. I think he's got this. Here he goes.
Sails past him. Goodbye, Tetrosaurus. Oh wait, no, he holds it around the outside.
Trying to keep running outside. And
yeah, and he backs in.
Oh.
That is, I'm just looking at the pit stops there. Tigosaurus and Quaker Oats have only pitted once. Laser Guns in fourth has pitted 3 times and has a fast lap.
Hey, didn't he bit for damage or something?
Yeah. He had 3 half spins, all in the stadium section.
Did Junior have a spin earlier as well?
He did, yeah. Yeah, he went
2?
out to last, yeah. So it's a brilliant comeback for him. It's going to be really difficult to decide who gets driver today because, in my opinion,
Tidge really struggling. He's just had 2 big slides there. Just need a finish, Tidge. Just need a finish. He's got 12 seconds back to Blazer. You can cruise it. He's had 2 major slides there through the S's.
These conditions do not suit the Alfa Romeo drivers.
We think as well, those that are now on 12 laps, that's Tidge and Junior. Inters aren't very good on this game.
No,
they wear out very
yeah,
they wear out very easily. Many of these guys, and pretty much the entire grid, might be struggling for the last few laps.
True, yeah. We don't know their tyre wear, so they might be running on tin rubber here. So I wonder if Tage is maybe. I don't think he might be with those slides, but if any driver's taking it easy to make sure their tyres get to the end.
Well, here's the thing: if he's thinking championship, which being this close to the end, you'd have to.
Yeah.
He's 18 seconds back to McCracken. Very worse, if he pits now, he'd come up a couple of seconds behind McCracken, be on fresh tyres. Could probably easily pass his teammate. Flag in sector 2. Yeah, he can easily pass his teammate. He's already gaining points on Raikkonen. And that's both his championship rivals covered, so that's the options. Either cruise to the end or pit, just to be safe. I don't know, what would you do?
That's tough. Well, I kind of had the option yesterday to either pit, go into fresh tyres and try and make my way through the field, but I decided to just stay out on the mediums with rain damage, and I still finished on the points. So, but I don't know how that would have worked out. So I think ways are viable. I'll probably say Tage is gonna take the safer option and just stay out on the tyres that he has. Especially this close to the championship, and he's still getting solid points. Like, it's not like he's struggling down in 8th or anything, so he's still doing well in 3rd place.
Yeah. Reason I asked as well is this is clearly because he's already had a couple of slides in the S's, as I watch him now. Still had a couple of slides in the S's. Maybe he's not. It's much better through there, but my question would be, stay out in these tyres, risk binning it, and then he goes home with nothing.
Yeah, that is a possibility.
And then McCracken would move up to 4th, getting another 12 points, which would close the gap. I mean, why am I helping him? I mean, from an outsider's watching point of view, you want the championship to close up even more.
Oh yeah, that's true. And if he is in a party with his teammate, I don't think he would go for that because McCracken has no penalties, and I think Tage is 9 seconds worth of penalties. So
actually, that's a point. Can you check the penalty
yeah,
situation?
9 seconds. Yeah, Quaker Oats is only 1, and then Junior has 3. No, 2 at the moment, and then Tage is 3. So it goes 1, 2, 3.
How much the Blazer has? He's had a few.
Yeah. He's had 1, 2, 3 penalties so far, so he's on the same stage.
Alright, so yeah, he's not gaining anything. Fine to McCracken as well. What about Eagle and Alonso? Because Alonso's actually catching Eagle
Oh,
for
wow.
6th.
Yeah, that's really good drive from
Have
Alonso.
a battle.
Check that.
Have a battle.
A single penalty for Dude Eagle. And
Alonso has a few, I think.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Oh god. Okay, never mind. Just never mind.
And on top of that, he had a 5-second penalty, which he already served. So he's had, what's that, like 20 seconds worth of penalties so far this race, and he's still in the points.
Yeah. You know what I was saying about? You know what I was saying about tyres? These intermediates not lasting very long. Look at the state of Tomo's tyres. They're almost slicks. He's been on them 14 laps. That's what I'm saying about Tijosaurus. He's been on them 15, and they're more or less the same. Oh, and yet he's struggling for traction. Bring it home. The only problem is he's got Blazer Guns catching him.
Yeah, Blazer Guns
2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, literally catching him. And the big thing is, if Blazer Guns didn't get one of his penalties here, he might well have gotten, like, I know there's another lap and a bit to go, but they're both on equal penalties, and if only Blazer Guns didn't get one more penalty, that he would have gotten a podium.
No, but if he's catching him in such a way, he might still have him.
Yeah, true.
3.1 was 3.6. Look, let's go down. 3, 2.9.
Can we have a shared driver day across 3 drivers? Because
another thing as well, the rain's picked up again.
This will help the Inters, I believe. Well, no, probably not, because they're bald, so that'll make them worse, actually.
Last lap, though. Yeah, the spray's picked up. The spray's picked up. Tidge is in trouble. Blazer Guns might have this.
1.3 seconds. Oh my god.
He's flying. Yeah, the rain's picked back up. The spray, there was no spray like 2 laps ago. So now you're on 1 Inters.
Oh, it's over.
Tidge.
Blazer Guns has it.
What Blazer Guns mustn't do is rush this. He has the pace on him.
No, he can sit back. Blazer Guns is 1 less penalty. Tidge is on 12 seconds of penalties.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
just
no,
sit
he's not
back.
Sit back. He's lunging.
Sit back.
He's lunging.
He's going for it.
He ain't gonna lunge. He's gonna set back. Oh, nice move.
Very nice.
Oh, on the inside.
Oh, a bit of
really
contact
good.
though.
Oh, contact.
Tiny bit. And these
Blazer gets onto the podium.
Honestly, I think the top 3 all deserve driver today, because Junior would have come back.
Oh, he's got a penalty!
Who? Oh no!
Oh!
It doesn't matter. It might matter.
He still has it. He still has it. He still has it.
Because McCracken, if he can gain a second, Oh, by the way, McCracken's gonna jump Tidge.
Oh. Anyway, sorry, Quaker's won.
Yeah. Oh,
gets
sorry.
His 3rd race.
Dominant drive. Well done.
Junior gets a Haas 1-2. Yeah, McCracken's gonna have Tidge. Tidge is really.
Yeah. He's definitely gonna. He struggles so much.
What happened with him?
Yeah, 3rd place. What a drive.
Blazer Guns gets on the podium. And
Tidge across the line.
Yeah, he spun it and thinking anger. Is McCracken gonna get him?
It's gonna be close. Yeah, he does.
He does!
Oh my god, man. In the final lap, he loses 2 positions. Won't be happy with that. He actually... His AI just broke check with Kraken, which I think sums up his race.
Raikkonen as well is got
7th.
7th out of all this.
Well,
Tomo's out of fuel. Tomo's out of fuel. No, is he going to get a point? He does, just.
Oh, yeah. No, he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. Because Timmer lipped up to 8th. He was 11th over the line. Tomo ran out of fuel on the last lap.
Let's see who gets 13th.
Which means no points.
14th. Oh, no, 12th and 13th. That is mad. This is a mad race.
A mad end.
Yep. So, who was your driver today?
Oh, I think it's a toss-up between Junior and Blazer.
I don't know, man, because like Quaker Oats, yeah, even with damage, still just destroyed the field.
Hmm. I think either or, because the amount of spins that Blazer had,
Yeah,
Junior
sure.
had 2 incidents, including one that put him to the back, and he still came through the second.
I mean, for penalties, I might have to give it to Quaker Oats in terms of my driver there because of just his dominance, and he kept the penalties down, and he did overtake for the lead as well. So, well, 1-2 for oh, yeah, full points for 44 points for Haas. So that'll do them well in the championship.
It's amazing how so many things can change in the space of what, 3 laps.
Yeah,
Because
it's
3
mad.
laps before the end, I thought Tigosaurus had third nailed down.
Yeah.
I thought he was comfortable, fine.
So did I.
And that's again, if he had pitted when I'd said he had the opportunity to, when he was like 18 seconds ahead of he was 18 seconds ahead of McCracken.
Yeah, I know, yeah.
So he lost 6 seconds. He lost 6 seconds in 2 and a bit laps.
Yeah, and penalties
Mad.
came into play because McCracken gained positions because of it with no penalties, and same with Timma. Timma gained 3 positions just because no penalties. He kept it nice calm.
So in terms of the championship, McCracken's gained 2 points. Yeah, 2 points on Tidge, which brings the gap down. Was 22, it's now 20 points.
And Raikkonen's gained 6 on Primus, which means he's 9 behind.
Yeah, and they're still not out of the championship battle, so would not count them out.
That was a good race.
Remember rightly, another good one. Another dramatic one like last week.
Yeah. This one was better though, I think.
Get these 3 in.
The same top 2 finishes as last week.
Blazer's first podium. No, it's his third. Okay. If I remember rightly, Quaker doesn't have a mic, does he?
No. Yeah, he wasn't on the podium last. Well, he wasn't on the podium interviews last week.
Alright, put a tick in the box, please, you two. I think we're going to just have you two for the interviews, which is fine. But another crazy race like last week. Maybe not as chaotic, but the rain definitely made it very interesting for you two. And if I do Blazer, you do Junior?
Yeah.
Hey, what the?
Okay. Alright, so yeah, definitely a very crazy race around Mexico. Definitely far different conditions. You can see now on the stream. You couldn't even see the trees or the buildings or anything at the beginning of that race. It was crazy stuff. But through the end of it all, did we actually have a single retirement in that race? I don't think we did.
No. Mad consistency.
No. Oh, very good. Yeah, very good stuff. But we have our top 3. Unfortunately, we won't have Quaker, which is a shame, but we do have third and second, so we go to third at first. Blazer Guns on the podium for only the 3rd time, I believe, if my stats are correct.
Winning Baku, Belgium podium, 3rd podium.
Sweet. So, yes, you haven't had a podium for a while.
Nope.
You have had a tough time of late. No points last time out of Japan in that one, but
wasn't racing.
Oh, of course you weren't racing. Of course you weren't. But yeah, because Flaming was in the Williams instead of you. Yeah, very interesting race for yourself. Roller coaster, I think, can be described your race because you had several spins. came up behind a very defensive and you shall not pass Alpha and McCracken, which your teammate had to try and get through as well. There was a big train forming up in that early stint. Eventually you overcame him and then was in fourth. And take us through the last few laps, because all of a sudden me and Bamba realised, oh, Tej is really struggling in these last couple of laps, and you were catching them hand over fist. Did you think you would maybe catch him towards the end of the race?
No, to be honest, no. I wasn't even thought if I was going to catch him. I knew if I was going to get past McCracken and just build a gap to secure P4, I'd be happy. But as soon as I was checking the split times, just going down every time, every sector, and Jeff telling me like the gap was going down like 1.62 seconds per lap, I was like, I could actually get him on the last lap. And I was just trying to keep my head focused, and I'm just overwhelmed with it. I mean, the qualifying wasn't as good as I wanted it to. Started P10. Had to change my wing twice in the first 2 laps. So possibly by lap 3 I would have got lapped if it wasn't thanks to the safety car, which I prayed for to get me back in this race. And it just came out, and I just don't know how I just drove today. I mean, I was going to take 2 weeks off. I was supposed to take this one off as well. I just felt much more better and a lot more confident to race, and all I can say is I'm very glad that I've decided to come back. I will say on the stream as well, I did say on the Discord, I will also apologise with a slight contact with McCracken and Digisaurus there. Well, the one on McCracken, I kind of locked up my front tyres, so I was a bit nervous, and the one on Tidge was not to plan.
Well, it was very tricky conditions, obviously. With that, I'll just describe the first few laps for us, because obviously we saw on stream how bad it was, but I don't think I've ever seen anything like it. On the weather forecast, did it have like I don't know if you make sense of what I'm trying to say here, but did you have like 3 lines underneath a cloud, or was it the drops?
No lines.
3 lines.
Yes, that's monsoon.
Yeah.
Monsoon conditions. I've only seen it personally once or twice in this game ever, so tell us, how was that like? I mean, the grip looked ridiculous.
Yeah, the grip was kind of ridiculous. It was like you gotta be very careful on the throttle if you're like running no assists, and just try to keep the car as steady as you can. And the way I've been learning is try like short shift at least 1 gear, and it's been actually helping me with the traction on the exit corner, so I was managed to get more speed.
Yeah. But congrats on your 3rd podium of the season.
Thank you.
Obviously 4 races to go: USA, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, Monaco. What do you think in these last 4 races? Obviously, because that's the only thing you've got now, championship wise, is to maybe get like a podium or maybe another win under your belt. Do you think that could maybe happen in these last few races?
Yeah, I think it could possibly happen, a podium or a win. USA might be a tricky one. I'm not much of a big fan, but at the moment I'm just practicing that track as hard as I can with the wheel, and I'm getting a lot more better, so I'm hoping it could be a good result. Brazil is one of my favourite tracks. Got some good pace, so just hopefully I get the strategy right. Abu Dhabi, that as well is going to be a tough race, but who knows? Anything could happen in that one. And Monaco, yes, it has to be rerun, and it's going to be very difficult. But I just love Monaco to bits. If I had like to rank my F1 tracks, Monaco is literally my most favourite track in all F1 Canada on the grid, followed by Silverstone. It's like Monaco's like my second home.
Well, we'll see what will happen in that. Obviously, if the championship is still available till then, hopefully it is, fingers crossed. I'm sure all the attention will be on Tier 4 for the last race of the season as a whole. So that'll be something to look forward to. But we've still got 3 more races before then, so see what happens. And yeah, all the best.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, well done, man.
Right, moving on
Great drive.
moving on to second place. Anything from you, Bambo? Asking Blazer before we move on.
And just to highlight his great drive. Like P10 to podium position, especially with the gap that he had to Tej, is just really well. So well done to him.
Yeah, well, I was nearly a lap down by lap 3 after changing my wing on the first 2 laps. So I was happy, super happy with it.
All right, moving on to second. Hand you over to Bamba.
Yeah, so well done, Junior. A lot like
Hello, mate.
Japan. You dropped down and then you came back and you got another second, which was this one was way better though, way better drive. So, the safety car played into both of your hands pretty well. But before that, what did you think? What did you think of your race when you had that contact and spun went down to last?
Oh, man, I instantly thought that's it, my race is over. Then realised that, obviously, because of the conditions, it wasn't as bad with a yellow front wing, because there's not, you're doing a lot of lifting and coasting through most of the corners, so it didn't affect me too much. But then when the safety car came out, I think I was already back up into 7th, and safety car came out, so I just thought that's my opportunity to dive in and get a free pit stop and change my wing. And then just sort of, it was just literally lap after lap after lap. It was real tough conditions. If that was real life, that would have started under a safety car. It was horrendous.
Would have
I
flagged it.
Well, even that maybe, but I just want to say a massive congratulations to every single driver tonight who drove that race. There was not one single retirement, and everybody, there was incidents all over the place, but everyone kept their head. Everyone drove a good race. And just want to say happy birthday to Michaels, obviously. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And a massive shout out to Roberts. He kept me calm through that entire race, literally lap after lap after lap, especially catching Tej towards the end. Having the sector breakdown from him was just immense.
Yeah, obviously the race engine is very valuable, so that might have played into it. But we were kind of baffled by why the safety car came out. So do you know why? Because on the stream there was no like debris or any car around. It just kind of popped up out there. Do you know why? Safety car
haven't
came
got
out?
a clue.
No idea.
I was thinking maybe Blazer, maybe you'd spun somewhere, or maybe it was your teammate. I saw Williams like way off.
I know Tom had damage.
That would be me like 51 seconds behind in 15th after changing my front wing on lap 2, because I had to change my wing on lap 1 and lap 2.
Could have been the rain, Bambo. You could be right. I mean,
but yeah, I think it would be the rain.
Never seen it.
Yeah,
personally, because it didn't exactly ease off, I guess, after the safety car went in. So
it was
weird one.
It was a tough one. It was a really tough one. It's probably the hardest race I've ever had to drive. Just down to the conditions alone. But
it must be there one of your best, because you were last at one stage, and you came back. And even when you were in third, we were saying how this could be a massive haul of points for Haas, the full 44 points with Quaker Oats in first. But it seemed like Tej was a bit too far ahead of you until he just fell off the cliff with tyres, and then you just start pumping in those laps, and you even got the fast lap of the race, which kind of sums up your race, to be honest, because it was amazing. So I don't know what to say, honestly, because it's a huge haul of points for you, which didn't seem like that would happen. Yeah.
No, especially after, I mean, I think Quaker qualified P2, I was P4, and then after the first lap, and I had another spin with Scotsman as well in turn 3, and then it was just like, back down the order again and just having to fight way through. But
Yeah.
there was some. Luckily, because of the conditions, I think it just gave you that edge to be able to overtake where you shouldn't really be able to overtake.
Yeah.
But yeah, massive congratulations to Quaker. It's a great points haul for Haas. I think we're climbing up in the constructors a little bit now, so that's good.
Yeah, and the exact same top 2 finishes from last week. So Quaker Oats winning a new second. It's carried over here.
Yeah, I'll take that for the rest of the season. But I'm going for a win in USA. That's my track to win on.
Yeah.
It's my last opportunity.
Bring it to
Why did
Quaker.
you last? You still got 3 more after that.
Well, if Monaco would have been my other opportunity, if it's Blazer's second home, then I might struggle there. But we'll see.
There's just one more question for me to you, Junior. How were the intermediates at the end of that race? Because
Perfect.
I was saying to.
That's
you say,
surprising.
or-
Yeah, that's surprising.
My tyres are great. As soon as I went
Is
onto the Indies, it was just a different race completely.
I
And
mean,
they lasted.
meant in terms of where.
Yeah, I had 46% on the rears, but they just felt great
Yeah.
for the whole stint. They felt great.
Still don't know why. Still don't know why Tidge went off the
He
pace
was
all of a sudden.
he was
It's just-
losing 2.5 seconds a lap to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he had no damage or anything, and it looked like because Quaker Oats was incredibly quick on the wets at the start with damage,
you
and
know
then
what
as
it
soon
could
as
be?
it switched, Hughes kind of picked up on the inters. Hughes got faster. What's that, Bruno?
Yeah, it could be. It could be fuel, because Alonso we saw ran out of fuel in the last lap. Maybe Tidge had problems with fuel.
Maybe.
He said in Discord that his tyres were just completely shot. So I don't know. Maybe his setup was wrong for the weather. I don't know. But I just again, it's like Japan last week. If I hadn't have had an issue, where would I have finished? So if I can get a clean start off the line and get away well, then we'll see next week.
Yeah, one more thing before we finish off. Obviously, with that result, I don't know if you realised, Junior, but before that race, you still had a mathematical chance of winning the championship.
Really?
But with that result, yeah, you did. You were 122 points.
Yeah,
with 125 available. So.
Oh damn. Okay.
I know you
So
gained
with that
points on
result-
Tidge, so
Yeah, but with that result, you're not in the fight anymore.
That's all right. Still
so
third to play for.
Yeah, still obviously third to play for. But question I would like to offer you here. Obviously, McCracken's is now within 20 of Tidge. You still got Primus, Raikkonen, and Alco still has a chance as well. Out of those, if you had to pick one, who would you pick
Who would I pick
based
to
on
win
what
it?
you're seeing so far?
You've got to look at the two alphas. It's got to be Tidge or McCracken. They've just improved all season. I know McCracken struggled today in the conditions we had, but put him on an inters or a dry race, he's going to be up there. And Tidge is just, you see last week in Japan, he drove a phenomenal race, and a couple of races before that as well. So you've got to be watching out for those two. But Raikkonen, can't count him out either. He's, I think he's still hungry for it. And if Alco turns up, then that's half the challenge, really. But I think realistically, it's going to be between the two alphas.
You gave me a political person would answer. I said give you one, and you gave me about 4 or 5.
Well, I narrowed it down to 2.
Yeah, boy did it.
You've got to be looking at McCracken or Tidge. I think is where the money would be put if I was going to bet on it.
Blazer, do you have a clear person, or do you think it's still any of those 5?
I'll probably say the same. I don't know what the tables look like, so I don't know where I am. See if I could mathematically somehow shock people, but I don't think I'll know it. I don't think I'll know it.
You were 13. You were 13 points behind Junior, so if Junior's out of it, you're out of it as well. mathematically now it's Tidge, and he's 20 points ahead of McCracken. Then you got Primus, a bit of a gap to Primus and Raikkonen and Alco. Timmer still has a chance as well. So yeah, it's those 6 in with a chance
those
still.
6. Wow, it's a very big battle then. So I'll probably say the Alphas as well. It's going to be one of the Alphas. I think they could bring it down to possibly the penultimate race, maybe the last race. We don't know, but I think the Alphas can get there. So I know Primus, he couldn't make it tonight. But if he turns up next week and the Alphas gets a poor result and he could possibly win, then who knows?
I just like to throw something back at you, Bundle, as well.
Yeah.
It's 125 points is available before today's race.
It's 100 now.
Yeah, it's 105, 104 now, isn't it? Because you've still got the fastest lap point.
Of course.
Wait, 99.
So I don't know if that
is it not?
I don't know if that changes anything.
You're still it's still those 6. Still those 6 because you needed to win with Tidge out of the points, and McCracken needed to have a good bad result as well. So no, those 6. I think the thing for me, the trump card in all this is the fact that Monaco's the finale. If it was any other track, if it's just any other track, then maybe apart from Baku, it's just the fact that Monaco's there, and if you still have like 4 people within a race win, it's anyone's game, anyone's at all. So exciting stuff, exciting. Well, thank you you two.
No problem.
Congrats on your race.
Well done.
Did we decide Bamba between the 2? For driving
honestly,
today? I don't think
I wouldn't mind splitting it between all 3 of us because, like, it was just that all 3 drives were just so different from each other, but so good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll go with that. All 3 drivers today. I think actually everyone in agreed with the fact that everyone finished in those conditions.
Yeah, true.
Not a single retirement.
Yeah, all 15.
Yeah.
I'll take that. But yeah, that has been the Mexico Grand Prix. Yet another chapter this tier 4 is bringing. They keep on providing. Very, very good stuff. Well, I mean, there's the good five races I could pick out that have been great this year, and that's another one. So that's been the Mexican Grand Prix, another chapter in the championship battle. It's still very much alive between 6 drivers. Who will take it? We've got 4 more races to go. USA next week, Brazil, Abu Dhabi, and then where is it? There it is, Monaco. Right there. So yeah, obviously make sure you join us for the finale for that. But we have one more Mexican race to go, and we have the potential of crowning another champion in F3, because that championship is still relatively alive. I think Hamilton is in the lead of that championship, only needs 8th tomorrow. Quite similar to Lewis Hamilton, I think, one year, if I remember rightly. I think he needed like 7th like 2 years ago, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah, so I think he needs 8th to win the championship. So see if he can be crowned the champion of F3 tomorrow night. That'll be at 8 o'clock. I believe Unity Hush will be streaming for the very first time.
As a champion.
I think I saw. As a champion, yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll be partnered by Rebster tomorrow night. And then obviously you've got the podcast to sum up everything this week on Friday night. And then on Sunday we have the first of the United States Grand Prix races for F2. Championship's already been decided in that one, thanks to Magic Mark, but there are plenty of drivers, including me, that want to win at least one more race before that's just done and dusted. And that'll be on Sunday, 8 o'clock. Bodo and Primus taking you through the action on that. So plenty of action still to come in RSF1. But from myself, RSF1 Brundle, Bamba Viking, thank you again.
Thanks very much.
And your top 3 of Laser Guns in the Williams third, Junior in the Haas second, and Quaker Oats in the Haas first. 1-2 for that team.
Yes.
But yeah, thank you very much for everyone for watching. Take care and good night.
Bye.